What's up, everyone? Anthony at EmpireMusic.com. New this week. Happy Monday. Hope you had a great weekend. Here we are, careening towards, we're almost at the end of 2024 already, right? Now, it always feels that way. The years go so fast, but we're back at it here. Hope everyone's January is going great. Hope if you have some resolutions, they're still going strong. It's not too early to give up on that stuff, hopefully. Real quick, I want to give a shout out to my sister, my brother-in-law, my beautiful niece, Kate, for a cool Christmas gift. Some Grateful Dead socks. And as I was talking about these, and a little slouching down there, right? The little Steal Your Face logo. I'm a massive Dead fan. People get surprised by that because of my love for like weird ambient music and jazz and hip hop and things like that. But like the Dead, Phil Lesh was like, it probably remains one of my biggest bass influences. Paul Jackson, George Porter, Phil Lesh. Kind of a weird one to add in there, but massive fan. And Brent, the videographer, just showed me his Bob Ross socks, which are awesome too. I'm also an artist and love that as well. So some cool sock game going on here at Empire Music. We try to stay stylish. Also, so we're going to do a new thing in these New This Week videos, a weekly question. There's going to be a winner to these weekly questions. I want your response to the question. It'll all be music related. Sometimes we might get a little bit more existential or philosophical, maybe not. I want you to respond to the question in the comments below, preferably. You can also email me. It's Anthony at EmpireMusic.com. I'm going to select my favorite response to the question. There's not going to be some random drawing. I want you to give me just a good answer. Keep in mind, I love to read. I love prose. I love well-written statements. I'm not asking for multiple paragraphs, but I just want a good answer, a well-explained answer. And again, I'm going to draw a winner, and at that point, I will announce it next week. I'm not going to reach out to you directly, so you got to watch the next video. And this week it's going to be, you're going to have your choice between an Empire t-shirt or an Empire little tassel cap. We'll be giving some stuff away. We'll ship that out to you for free, but you got to reach out to me. So I'm not going to do this crazy effort thing to get you the gift. But again, I'll announce the winner and I will read your response, or most of it. I'll paraphrase your response on next week's video. So this week's question is, do you name your guitars? Are you one of the people out there that names your guitars? How do you? I do not. So I'll always answer the question first. I tend to refer to my instruments as whatever they are. So if it's like my Empire 58, that's what it is, my Casadosa, or the flats, I'll refer to like the strings on it, something like that. But I don't name my instruments. I think if I had to think about it, I have no factual evidence on this. If I was referring to my group of basses, which I think currently is at around 5 or 6, I refer to them as the guys. So like I kind of think of them as my friends. But I kind of treat them as like inanimate objects that are just tools for, music creation. So that's kind of my response. But I want to know out there, do you name your instruments? How do you refer to your instruments? And why? All right. So email me. Leave that in the response. The best comment, you get an Empire t-shirt, you get an Empire beanie. I will announce my favorite response next week during the video. We'll see if this gets some legs. If not, we'll abandon it, but I think it might be kind of cool. I want to know what you guys think out there. So let's dive into some instruments. If you see something that you like, 412-343-5299. And again, my email, just to reiterate that, is Anthony at EmpireMusic.com. Taylor Get One, Gift One is still going on. Holiday deals are over, but we still have a hot sheet here in the store. So if you want to just kind of get a link to some of that stuff that's been here for a while, quantities that might be a little bit too high, let us know. We'll hook you up on that, but some great pricing on that. So Gibson just rolled through. I've shown most of this stuff off, maybe other than the SG, but they're back. So maybe some second chances on the stuff. This is the first time we got this finish in transparent black burst. This is the Les Paul Supreme, absolutely loaded out guitar. Weight relieved. You got like kind of the contour back here, so it is super light for a Les Paul. I love the look of these headstocks too. Whatever this little diamond design on there is just really cool to me. Every switching option you could possibly think of too. You got tone bypass, you got phase control, you got coil tapping, all that good stuff on there. Burst bucker pickups in it. Just these are really cool. If you want like kind of a modern touch on a Les Paul, very, very cool. Lightweight too, like I said. SG, new colors on that. So we have this in the vintage white. Saw it in like TV yellow. There's some burst finishes. It's just cool seeing different colors on the SG platform. Joe did a good video on kind of an overview of some of the features and some of the colors on this that just hit YouTube last week. So kind of cool. So SG, this is the first white one that we've got in. And then 70s Explorer. So, you know, I don't even know really what, there's certain body shapes and there's certain basses, guitars that are just cool. I always think of an Explorer as, I mean, maybe it's not the most practical guitar shape-wise for people. It's kind of like when you see like the Jacksons or something. It's just cool. And I mean, I'm not a heavy spec guy. I'm also just like when something jumps out at me as being quote-unquote cool, I just like it. So nice to see these in the shop. This is the second one of these that we've gotten this year. Just like all the 70s styling on it. I love the natural finish on that too. Again, it's just cool. Can't argue with that sometimes, you know? So Epiphone Casino. This is not your standard Epiphone thing. There's people, I don't know if they get confused by it, but they just maybe just don't know. These are USA made, like basically a Gibson with the Epiphone name on it, harkening back to like the vintage casino models, George Harrison, McCartney, Lennon, all that stuff. Obviously some Beatles lore to it. P90's in there. This is in the royal tan finish. It's the second one of these we've gotten too, and I just think it's an absolutely beautiful finish on the front. But check out the back. It's such a cool like two-tone thing going on there. I always like that when you get these very different back finishes versus the front finish. And I love P90s, especially in neck position. Not much of a guitar player, but that is one of my favorite tones, what we get from a P90 in a neck position on that. The warmth that that gives you without the brashness of a straight, like a Strat style single coil sometimes, is very cool. To my ears, take that for what it's worth. Again, as a kind of very part-time guitar player. Now, we want to get into a more budget-friendly version of that. You have the true Epiphone, the Asian-made Casino in the Sunburst. I also have it in the aged black, which is cool. Kind of the satin finish on there. I like the muted look to that, especially with the cream binding still being kind of satin on it. Very cool. These come in at like, it's like $600, right? $699. P90's in it, obviously Epiphone Pro, P90's on it, but they're cool. I mean, it's the same thing with like Squier to Fender, Epiphone to Gibson. Get a lot of value and stuff like this. Cool way to get into some different tones. Two basses, one kind of bass. I'm actually glad this came in now because when me and Justin did the video on the bass 6, we only had it in the red, which is one of my least favorite finishes on the stuff. If we had it in the Lake Placid blue, I would have bought it that day because these were really, really cool. Nice little things to add into your collection if you're a bassist or a guitar player looking for something else, looking for something different. VINTERA 2s, bass 6 in Lake Placid blue. And then sticking with the VINTERA 2 lineup, the 70s Tele bass. I might buy one of these because I've been looking for something new to add. And this pickup is so awesome, way up in the neck position. Reminds me of kind of the Gibson Mudbucker thing. But in the vintage white, it just looks really, really like the nicotined Olympic white. You all the guys always hear me say how I like those slightly off-white finishes. There's a little kind of vintage on there. These things sound great. I've done a video on these. Awesome, awesome basses to give you something different. And then Taylor. So back in stock, hard to keep in stock because these are sought after. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful instruments. Builder's Edition K14. I'm sorry, K24. Vine inlay. I mean, it just all Koa construction. Not much more beautiful looking and sounding. Auto tuners. And then a new one, the American Dream 24CE. 8024C, they would call that. This is a like really, really, really nice sounding guitar for the money. $2,000. You get American made construction, ES2 electronics, mahogany, sapele, kind of a no BS way into a great sounding instrument. Very impressed with these. We'll have a video coming out for these soon. So again, got the question of the week. Do you name your guitars? Leave a comment and let us know. Thanks.